Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 34 for our Palo Alto firewall training series. Today we are going to talk about high availability in Palo Alto. So first of all, we'll understand what is high availability. Then we'll be understanding what are the modes that are available in Palo Alto for high availability. What are the interface types that supports high availability in Palo Alto. How to configure them and what are the troubleshooting commands that we are going to use. And also I'll be testing an application. Maybe I'll be testing with YouTube or AnyDesk. Okay. AnyDesk or YouTube, and we'll switch from active unit to the passive unit, and then we'll see how application performs over here. That I'm going to show you in this video. So it will be very interesting to see those things as well. So I'll highly recommend you to please watch this video till then so that you can understand these points and as well as you can use in your maybe your day-to-day life. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. So friends, first of all, we'll understand what is high availability. Friends, you might have heard about redundancy, failover, high availability, clustering. So what exactly this means? This means a backup. So what backup is? Backup can be a software backup, or maybe your hardware backup, or maybe your data backup, anything. Okay. So let's say if you have a phone, you are giving to a service engineer, they will ask you to take backup of your data so that you can restore that data to your mobile after servicing. So in firewall, in Palo Alto, what exactly high availability means? So we'll understand with the help of this scenario. So let's say I have network A and I want to reach network B. Okay. So I'll be following some path to reach network B from A, right? Let's suppose this device got failed due to power issue or due to software issue. Now this traffic when reaches to this router, he's not able to forward the data because the hardware that the device is crashed and it is not working properly. So there should be a mechanism which actually inform this network A so that he can forward the data from another path. So that is a way to inform the other backup devices so that you have to take the action and you have to forward the data. This is what happens in firewall case. So if one firewall goes down, he will be like both the firewall checking each other that whether you are alive or not in the network. If they are not, he will take the responsibility and he will start sending the data, forwarding the data. It is very important, and in every organization the HA or high availability will be there. It's not about firewall, it can be on the router, switches, if you have like storage devices, if you have servers, every devices will have a backup, or maybe I can say redundancy, maybe I can say high availability, clustering, anything I can say. So this is very important, and you should know as a network administrator or a firewall engineer, you should know how firewall works in high availability, right? So friends, now we'll understand what are the modes that are available for high availability into Palo Alto firewall. Okay. So with the help of this diagram, we'll understand each of the modes. Okay. So first of all, there is active and passive. Okay. Active passive mode and active mode. So in active passive mode, what happens is, let's say if network A wants to send data to network B, every time he will be following this path, or maybe every time the traffic will hit Palo Alto firewall 1, it will never hit Palo Alto 2, right? So what this firewall does is, he will be polling this firewall. Once this firewall fails, then he will take the responsibility and he will start forwarding the traffic to network B. So there are a lot of things are involved in it. I will be capturing those information in next video. Okay, if you guys are interested, I'll come up with those information, because that is related to switch information. So how ARP table get updated and all those things. So what happens when we have active, right? So in active, what happens is the traffic will reach this Palo Alto firewall and also as well as Palo Alto firewall 2. Both the firewall will actively forwards the traffic. Okay, so in this active we'll be using both the firewall at the same time, but in active passive we'll be using only one firewall. So we'll not be utilizing the second firewall resources. It will be sitting idle until and unless firewall 1 gets down, then the firewall 2 will take the responsibility and forwards the packet, right? So there are a lot of things also involved in active if you guys are interested, and that is why a kind of a very deep understanding of it, how active works. If you guys are interested, I can come up with those videos as well. So friends, now we'll try and understand what is HA interface types in Palo Alto firewall, right? So there are two interface type. One is control ports, one is data ports. So what exactly a control port and what is data ports, that I'm going to explain you now. Okay, so basically what happens is, let's say these are two Palo Alto firewalls. So control ports, what happens if you do any configuration on active unit, it will get replicated to the passive unit, right? So there the control ports works. So it will send the data from one active device to another passive device. Okay, and also in this port they'll be checking the availability of the device. So he'll be sending some maybe a kind of a heartbeat request. So let's suppose he's sending some ICMP packets to this device to check whether if he gets any reply from this device, he thinks that the device is alive on the network. If he doesn't get any reply from this device, he will say this active device got down, I need to be active now. So he'll become active. Okay, so this is how the control ports works over here. In data, what happens is, now if you are like the active unit will forward the traffic, right? The passive device will just monitor whether this active goes down or not. So during that time, whenever somebody initiates a data, the session table, the ARP table, the IP routing table, everything will get replicated from this to this, so that if this goes down, all information will be available to this firewall, so that whenever, let's say there is an existing session, so somebody is using youtube.com, or maybe let's say if they are using some Skype call or something, during that time the session will remain same. Once it goes down, the session where this passive unit will take that responsibility of the session and start sending it and start forwarding the data. Okay, now in higher models, like we will be having a dedicated ports, right? Dedicated ports for HA, but let's say this is 5000 or maybe 3000 or maybe 7000 series. Okay, but in the lower models will not be having any HA ports or dedicated HA ports. We can make these inline ports as a HA ports. I'll show you how during the configuration of HA. So we'll move on to practical and see how we can configure HA in Palo Alto firewall. So friends, let's jump into the lab now. Okay, so this is just a simple scenario that I have put across to you guys so that you guys can understand this. Okay, so this is our inside network. Okay, the inside network I have put it the subnet over here. For outside I have put it the subnet as well as management. Okay, this is the control link and backup link as well. So there will be no IPs for data link because as this is just to it works as layer 2, so it doesn't require any IP addresses. Okay, and if you see over here, the internet and management both are on this cloud. This cloud is nothing but my PC, local machine, local. Okay, so there was some issues that was happening in EVNG. That is the reason I put it the outside and the management interface over here is as well. So yeah, now we'll start the lab. If you want, you can take a capture of it and you can just put a side of the video. So friends, before I move on, I just wanted to mention that I have already configured IP addresses on outside interface as well as inside interface, right? So the first step that we have to do is we have to make all these interfaces 3, 4, 5 and 6, all these interfaces configure interface type as HA. So we have to make all this interface as a HA type. Okay, so this is the first task that we are going to do now. So let me rub this out and we'll move on to the management. As I have already named it as a Palo Alto 2 and as Palo Alto 1. Okay, we'll go to the network and we'll configure the type as HA. So this one is HA, this one is also HA, this will be also HA, and the last will be as HA type. Same thing we'll be doing in Palo Alto 2 as well. So friends, the commit is successful now, and we had made in Palo Alto 2 as 3 to 6, we have made all the interface type as HA interface. Now the second thing that we have to do is we have to enable HA. Okay, so how we will be enabling the HA, I'll show you now. So we have to go to device, high availability, and then we have to go to setup and we have to enable HA. Now here group, so whatever group that you are configuring, it has to be same on other device as well. So I'm just configuring group as maybe 20. Okay, and we are just configuring active passive right now. Now as I told you to enable config sync, because whatever we do configuration here, it will get replicated to other device. So now I have the peer IP address. We just to specify 1.1.1.1, right? This will be the P2. So this will be the peer HA address backup. We have backup as well. So 2.2.2.2. Okay, so we have enabled it. Now we have to do some settings for active passive settings. Okay, now how long the monitoring should be? So 1 minute. If the link is shut down, in that case the passive will be active or auto. So in auto there are a lot of criteria. I'll tell you in the next video when we'll go in deep also. Okay, now what is the election process that takes place? So election process, the lesser the priority is, the better it is. Okay, so I'm just making as device priority as 50. Then I'll preemption on is like if this device get rebooted, in that case if it comes then it will become, if the priority is less, in that case he will become the active. Okay, now heartbeat backup also. Now we have to set control link as well as data link now. So friends, as we have to configure the control link and the data link, we have to check what are the interface that we have allocated. So we'll go to the diagram. So 3 and 4 is dedicated for control link, and 5 and 6 it is for data link. Okay, so we have to configure IP addresses on 3 and 4, 5 and 6 it is not required. So we'll go back to, and we have to configure as 1/3. Now what is the IP address? So here 1.1.1.1. okay, and we have to specify the subnet mask. If it is like other side, like another network, in that case you have to specify the gateway. As we are directly connected, so we don't need it. We'll go 1/4, the IP address 2.2.1. okay, subnet mask 255.255.0. okay, and in data link we don't need to do it. So 1./5 transport, that's fine. And also the last is, this is the backup one, so 1/6 we don't need IP address here, and we'll do a commit. So friends, all the configuration completes over here, and the commit is also successful. Now we'll move on to Palo Alto 2. There are a lot of things that is there in this high availability. I'll be covering in the next videos if you guys are interested. So we'll enable HA, the group is 20, and here active stand, active passive, enable the configuration 1.1.1, 2.2.2.1. okay, and this will be the auto. Now device priority I want to make higher because I want to be as a passive one. If it is not recommended, because it will not become, because as we have already a priority, lesser priority active one, so there is no meaning to turning that preemption on here. Now we'll go and configure the control links. So this will be 1.1.2, 255.255.255.0. okay, now backup will be 1/4, 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0. okay, now for this one we just need to specify the interface. Here also we just need to specify the interface. So we'll do a commit here as well. So friends, now as we can see that the commit is also successful. Now we'll see what are the states. So as we can see, Palo Alto 1 is active and Palo Alto 2, which is 31, is passive. So we'll go here, we'll go to dashboard, and this is passive. Okay, so it looks fine. There are a lot of states it goes through. So if we go to monitor and if we go to systems, I'm not sure it will show or not, but yeah, so yes, it goes through a lot of process. If you want to know that, I can do a packet capture in the next video and I'll show you how it happens and what are the packet get exchange between that. Okay, so now whenever I do any configuration, it gets replicated. So here if you don't see any rules, here also we don't have any rules. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick configuration of a rule. Out in, source is inside, destination is outside, action is allow. Okay, and also we'll do a NAT configuration. So in to out. Okay, So it is taking some time. I'm not sure why it is not coming. Inside to outside, inside, outside, translated packet, interfaces 1/, okay, we'll do a commit. So once the commit is done, the configuration sync will also happen. So once you see over here, it is already synchronized. So this is done. Now if you go to the policy, you will see this one as well as the NAT configuration, what we did. So the config sync is also happened over here. If we try to look at monitoring, so configuration sync has happened with peer. So friends, now we'll test an application and we'll see once we change the state, what happens to that application. We'll see in the real time. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go to this diagram and open Windows PC, okay, and we'll see whether we have got internet connection or not. So we'll just try to serve. Okay, so we have google.com. okay, now there is a AnyDesk that I have installed in this PC, okay, and on my base machine, like on my laptop, I have also a AnyDesk as well, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll just type the ID over here and take the remote connection. So 90, okay, it is 90905, okay. Now as you can see, the connection is in progress and I'll get some message to accept it. Okay, so I'm accepting it. So once I'm accepted, I should get an image. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that I am able to see the screen over here, okay. And once we go to the CLI, both the CLIs, if we just increase this one, maybe I'll just increase the front size so that it should be visible for you guys. So 16, okay, apply. Okay, it is too large now. Okay, I'll do it for this as well. Maybe I'll just do it like this, yeah. And I'll increase the fronts for this as well. So change the settings. Where is the settings here? Now I'll make this one as 16 as well. Okay. Now show session on, right? If you see here, or maybe I'll show you like this, okay. If you see here, we can see the AnyDesk, as well as if we see on the passive, so session all, I can see AnyDesk over here as well. So the session is get replicated. So on active, we can see AnyDesk. On passive also we'll see AnyDesk. Now what I'll do is I'll just switch it. So how we can do that? We'll go to the device, we'll go to operational, as we will suspend it. So once we'll suspend this one, the peer will get active, right? So if we go here, we'll see this local is get active, and now we'll see what happens to our connection. So here the connection, I can see I am able to whatever I want, like the session is active, it is not dropped itself. So as this become an active, like I have switched over it from active to passive, but my session is not down, like it is still active. Okay, and if we see the connection here as well, now it has become active and we can see any desk over here. So as we can see on the real-time environment as well, that there is no issues that has happened to that application when we done the switch over. Okay, so there are a lot of research, or maybe we can do a lot of activities, and we'll see which application is very sensitive when we do active failover. So there are a lot of things that you guys can do when you do a lab. So let's say you can test YouTube, maybe you can test TeamViewer, maybe you can test other applications, Skype application or any other application, whether it is getting failed or not. So how the Palo Alto is getting reacted with all the applications. So I'll highly recommend to do that as well. And also you can suggest me if you have any application that you want to test, I can test it and I can give you a result of it. So this is what I wanted to show you in this video. There are a lot of more things to cover in HA which I cannot cover in one single video. So friends, this is what I wanted to show you in this video. If you like it, please give me a like. If you have any suggestion, please do a comment, or you can reach me on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe you can send me an email. Email is there in the about section. And also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.